What's up, everybody? This is Newton Mayenge. Welcome to the league. Today's topic is on entrepreneurship, and my next guest knows all about it. He owns 9 companies, and he's also an amazing actor who's been deemed the Latino James Bond. He is on a new movie on Amazon Prime called El Contratista. I'd love to welcome my good friend, Alejandro de Hoyos. Hey, Alejandro, how are you? Welcome to the league. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. It's awesome to see you, that you're doing well,
I am doing well. Thank you for coming on the show. How are you and your family doing? Everybody safe and healthy?
Yeah, we're doing well. I mean, we have different schedules. So some of the boys, since they're not going to school, they're asleep when I come to work, and it's all cool. We just get together for dinner. It's good.
Good.
Everything's under control as far as the COVID-19.
Oh, thank God! Thank God.
How about you guys? Doing all right?
Yeah, you know what? We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Thank God we're healthy. No issues or concerns. Unlike some other folks around the world. So
yeah.
No complaints whatsoever right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be in a relationship and have no complaints whatsoever. That's amazing. I'm just saying, yeah.
We're planning a wedding right now, so my biggest thing is yes, sweetheart, that looks very good. I love that color too. Yes. So as long as I keep doing that, then the complaints should not be in the picture.
Shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, you're a smart man.
But I wanted to bring you on the show today to want to say thank you, and also to have a discussion on entrepreneurship and acting. And you're a businessman. You've literally got 9 businesses that you've run, and
Right.
you've been in business for a long time. Motivation and inspiration is a big key when you're running businesses, because it's not like you have a paycheck. You have to go get whatever service you're providing, create that opportunity for them, and literally based on your hard-earned efforts, you have to create that monetary compensation, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I know for me, I was a sports agent, and I went and got my clients. I hooked them up with basketball programs or teams, and then I was able to negotiate contracts. And it was my own hard-earned efforts. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
I guess since I was a kid, I'm going to tell you a quick story. It's kind of silly, but it's interesting. When you're in Mexico, it's very common. That's where I grew up. It's very common for when you ask your parents, "Hey, mom or dad, can I have this? Can I have that?" They always say, "There's no money." Even if they have money, even if there's money, they always say, "There's no money," meaning there's no money for that, for whatever you want.
Yeah.
So when I was 12, I started working at a supermarket because I wanted to buy my own things. So after junior high, I would go and work for 2-3 hours. From 4 to 7. My mom knew, but my dad didn't know. And one time, the whole school in Mexico was going to go to Disneyland, the whole class. And so I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, the whole class is going to go to Disneyland. Can I go?" And the first thing he said is, "There's no money. There's no money for that," something like that. And I said, "I have money." He's like, "What?" Yeah, I have my own money. Where do you get it? And I had to tell him because he didn't know. Well, I work after, and he was just, silent. My mom knew, obviously, and he wasn't mad. He was actually proud that I had my own money, and I made that decision to go to Disneyland, even though I was asking him for permission.
Yeah,
I was buying it on my own. In other words, I didn't need you to give me the monny.
yeah.
So I guess since then I've always felt like that it's always good to have your own money, even when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
I had it in me that I can't be waiting for people to hand me money, to give me money. I like the idea of earning it, So
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was great because I'm glad you had that know-how at a young age, because that ultimately led you at 22 to start at the Magic Circuit. And can you tell me about the acts that you started booking there and how that whole process worked out?
Yeah, I mean, that comes from me being an entrepreneur, somebody that wanted to get ahead in life. I started working at an early age, since I was like 16, 17. at a club in Acapulco. I was tall, in Mexico, if you're tall and you're 18, you're an adult. So even though I was 16, 17, I looked like I was 18.
Yeah.
So I started working there, and eventually I started getting better and better positions. And by 19, I was the manager of a club in Acapulco.
Okay.
And then I worked at different clubs in Acapulco. And one of those owners had a club in Mexico City. So I asked him if he would hire me for Mexico City. It was like a big adventure for me, being 19. So I moved to Mexico City. And then I was there for 6 months. And then they got ready to open this ginormous club called Magic Circus. It was like a circus.
Okay.
A 2-story building, which was amazing. It had a lot of the things that a circus has underground.
Oh, wow.
So, but it wasn't ready. I mean, I was there, and we thought it was ready, but permits, and they're doing this. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Las Vegas, because I always wanted to go to Las Vegas and do some work over there, and just to see what it's like. So I went to Vegas for 6 months. Check this out. So I get there. I'm used to being a manager here in Acapulco and being, in Mexico City.
Yeah.
So my English was not that good. I thought I understood, because I could read books. But once you're there and people talk to you in different accents, I just couldn't understand. I couldn't communicate. So I tried to get different jobs. And they were like, well, you don't speak English that well. That's not good for you. Until finally one guy who was really nice it was a famous chain. I don't know if I can say names, but it was a famous, restaurant chain. Yeah. And he said, well, I don't have positions like that. We don't have cocktail waitresses here. I mean, waiters. Because I said, well, I can serve drinks. And it's like, no, they're all girls here in Vegas. I can give you the position of a dishwasher. And I'm thinking to myself, me, a dishwasher? I mean, yeah, I did work when I was younger, different jobs, but now I'm a manager.
Yes.
But I really wanted to stay there in Vegas and work, and so I accepted the job as a dishwasher, and I'm not ashamed. I'm actually really happy that I did. I didn't have my papers. Obviously, I was just a tourist, so the opportunities were not knocking on my door, So I took the job. In a couple months, they saw the way I was working hard. They asked me if I wanted to be a busboy, better presentation, better uniform. I was like, sure. Then a few weeks later, do you want to be a waiter? So I became a waiter. In the meantime, they call me and they say, Alex, the club is ready. So I go from being a waiter in Las Vegas back to being the manager of the biggest club in the whole country.
That's what I call humility.
You have to learn to be humble. It's good. I'm not saying that I come across as humble all the time. Sometimes I come across as somebody who, no man, you got to do this because we need it like this and this. But you know what? I do talk to my children about humility. Try to be humble. Even if we are not, even if you are not, try to be humble. Yes. Don't assume that you're entitled to things, because that's a big problem I have here in the States. That I feel like there's a lot of entitlement.
Yes,
people just expect to get things without working hard, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, but for me, you work hard, you get things done, no matter what it is. A relationship, marriage, like you're, about to find out, any business, even relationship with your family and brother, sisters, mom, you have to work at it. Yeah. So anyway, so that's how I know it's a long story. That's how I got to Magic Circus to manage this amazing club. The owners were, I don't want to say they were connected, but they had some political connections. So it was awesome that we were sort of protected in Mexico City.
Nice.
Yeah, the security that we had there, they were all part of the. I don't want to say the president security, but up there, pretty high. So when somebody would want to come and give us a hard time, they would just pull out their badges, and they're this really high-ranking, officers,
That
and
sounds like a great
we would
spot
just
to
do
me.
it on weekends. I'm sorry.
I said that sounds like a great spot to me.
It
Very
was
well
great.
secured.
It was great. So there, we only open Fridays and Saturdays because it was a private club. So that's to keep it private. You don't open it every day.
Okay.
But on Thursdays, we had the opportunity to rent it out to people who wanted to have a show or whatever. So I noticed that a couple of people wanted to use it for singers or dancers or any party,
Yeah.
and I decided to do it myself. So I talked to the owners and I said, look, there's some Thursdays that are empty, just rent it to me for a fraction of, and it's good for the club because whatever they drink, I don't get any of the drinks, but, I just get the door.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing. I started doing events on my own as an independent, me being the entrepreneur. By then I was 21,
Okay.
yeah. So then I brought a lot of these guys were very, very famous at the time. Jose, he was
Yeah.
a huge, romantic singer. We had Lupita D'Alessio, which was another huge. She's still around. She's still big. Sylvester, you might know Sylvester.
Yes.
You make me
Also,
feel.
Alberto Cortez, right?
I'm sorry?
You also had Alberto Cortez as well. Right?
Alberto Cortez, right? Yeah. Those were famous in Mexico and Latin America. Sylvester, he was great, man. He was great. He was not the king of disco, but he was one of like Gloria Gaynor, a lot of those Donna Summer,
Yes.
This guy Sylvester was very. If you look him up and you see his songs, they're all really, really funky and very good to dance to. It's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we hired him to come in and perform, which is a huge thing for me to have him there. And and that's what I was doing. I did a kickboxing world title tournament with Maurice Smith. He fought in the tournament, and years later, he was the champion of the UFC in one of those competitions. I don't know if you're familiar with the UFC.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but Maurice Smith was a champion later on, but he also won that championship in Mexico City at my
Wow.
club. It was great. It was great to have because we had a huge dance floor. It was great to have the ring. We created a ring in the middle of the dance floor with the lights and everything. After the fights, everybody got on the ring to dance, which is it's crazy.
So as I'm listening to the story, I'm just appreciating your being able to be innovative and thinking, okay, how can I turn this into a business opportunity that I can create and control? And that's what you did, which was phenomenal. So, and I know moving forward, you started to create additional businesses. But at the same time, when you're creating businesses, a lot of people may or may not understand that there's a lot of setbacks.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny because I wanted to mention that. I would say for every successful business that I have right now, I've had 5 to 10 unsuccessful, well, maybe 5 unsuccessful businesses. You go under. I had a restaurant. I was importing cars to Mexico. I was even doing Herbalife. I've always been doing different things. And sometimes things go well, and a lot of times things don't go well. You have to learn. There's a theory, not a theory, but they've come up with the idea that if you've been in business for 5 years, you're doing sort of okay, but you're still not out of the woods. If you've been in business for 10 years, then you're doing sort of okay. It's good because most businesses don't make the third year. You have to have that understanding. But when you're young and when you're learning all these things, if you have the energy, to do it, that's what happened to me. I would say, oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna do it. Boom. And then you learn that, the hard way that it's like, oh, okay, I don't have enough capital for this. Then you have to close. Yeah. And you have 2 options. Either you give up and say, okay, I'm just going to go work for somebody, or you say, okay, I'm going to, lick my wounds and maybe work with somebody in the meantime while I get more money or connections, and then do another business. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I did. In the last 25 years, I've been completely independent, where I still have companies that are not doing well. Even right now, out of the 9 that I have,
Of course.
a couple of them are not doing well, and some are doing really well, and some are doing, different levels. It's amazing.
Yeah. And especially when you're doing business too, and times, as the time goes by, things may change in that industry that you can't do it like how you did it when you first started it.
That's
Now
right.
you
That's
got
right.
to keep up with the times of it, and you got to be able to do it quickly, especially like think about 10 years ago, even 20 years ago. A lot of things are online
Yeah.
now.
Things
So
change. Yeah.
it's changed. So to continue to maintain your business, creating an online presence, which
Yeah.
wasn't a thing back then.
No, not only that, the pandemic is creating havoc. I mean, I have one of the 9 companies is a banquet hall facility.
Yes.
So we basically had every single weekend booked for weddings, quinceañeras, or events. All that is closed. I mean, everything had to be postponed to next year. So obviously, I'm losing a lot of money this year in that specific company, in that business, because I still have to have staff to book for next year. We're already, some of those people were moved to next year, and then newer contracts are being produced also for next year.
Yeah.
Things. And another, like the clinic that I'm, this is my office. The clinic, we're busier than ever. It's crazy.
Wow.
We're really, really busy right now with we deal with injured workers, so we're very busy.
What do you think is one thing that every entrepreneur needs to know?
That they're gonna fail.
Mhm.
Yeah, that there's failure. I mean, you have to be aware of that. If you think well, it's kind of catch-22. If you think you're gonna the business that you have in mind that it's gonna fail, you're not even gonna try. You have to feel like there's a chance that it'll work,
Mhm.
but also you have to be aware that there's a big chance that it will fail. And if it fails, then it's you get up again and try again. I mean, don't we all love the underdog stories? When you see, I'm into UFC, I'm into martial arts. When I see in the UFC, I see the fighters and the guy is losing or he's the underdog. Nobody thinks he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Rocky, Balboa story, and then the guy, he makes it, he gets up again and he gets up again and knocks the other guy out. We all love that story, but that's how we have to think, that if we fall, that we have to get up and then fall again, get up.
And I totally agree. And I'm glad you brought up Rocky and the entertainment business, because you are such a successful businessman and you transitioned from business, still doing business, to acting. How did that happen? And tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because when I was younger, when I was 16, 17, I liked acting. I used to go to the theater to watch movies with my younger brother. We would watch a triple feature. I guess my mom would let us go and we're there all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we loved a lot of those movies that in Mexico. So I always enjoyed movies. I always liked. And when I was about 16, 17, I thought, man, it would be fun to be an actor. Funny enough, in the where I was, if you said, when I said where I was, in the country, the city, the town, the environment where I was, if you said I want to be an actor, everybody would make fun of you. Be like, oh yeah, right. You're gonna be this, you're gonna be that. Ha 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 ha. So then you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And what happens is you don't only keep your mouth shut, you keep your dreams shut down,
Yeah.
So you don't do anything about it. Now you start doing business and they're like, oh, awesome, oh, that company did well, it's like, so that sort of encourages you to continue doing different businesses. It's kind of catch-22. So I would recommend that anybody who has a dream, no matter what it is, it's like, just follow it, man. Just follow it and don't listen to all those people who are always trying to put you down, because you see a lot of those people that are telling you, oh, no, there's no way. You're not going to do this. And you see that they haven't done much with their lives, so why are they giving you advice, or why are they telling you what you should or shouldn't do, If you want to do something, then try it. Do it. Anyway, so I always liked it. Yeah, you were going to say.
No, I would say that's a tribute to your model because you eventually went into 200. You had 200 commercials that you were involved in. You, at some point, were considered the Latino James Bond,
That's funny.
which I love. I love it, and I totally can see it. When were you deemed that
Well,
person?
when I turned 30, I
Uh-huh.
had just closed one of my businesses, a restaurant that I had in Virginia because my wife is from Virginia.
Uh-huh.
So we were there for 3 years, and I wanted to come back to the West Coast. I like California. I like being close to Mexico, from Baja, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
So we closed it after 3 years. The lease was up, and we're like, let's go. We'll open one in Santa Monica or whatever. We
Yeah.
never did. But at the time, uh, I went to an audition, with her because she wanted to be an actress. I just went with her, and the casting director came out and said to her, "Hey, do you know any actors? Because we need guys for this commercial." And she said, "Well, this is my husband right here. You." And she's like, "Oh yeah, you'll be great." So I auditioned for her. Obviously, I had never taken an acting class. This is at 30. No acting classes, no auditions, nothing. So I went in, and I don't know how I did, obviously. And she's like, "Oh, that's nice." But she said, "You have a good look. Let me give you a couple of people that you could learn, you can take classes with." And I did. I started taking classes with somebody, and they had one of those agent nights
Yeah.
after after 4 weeks. There was an agent there that was very good agent, and she liked me, and she signed me right there. She's like, "Yeah, we would like to represent you." Once that happened, then I started booking like crazy. I would do 20, 30 jobs a year, which is it's not the same anymore. By the time I was doing commercials or TV shows or different things, a theater, um, I just started working, on that, doing all those commercials. So if you do the numbers, you're doing 20 a year, 30. Of course, soon it's going to be 200. So, right. So yeah, I've done. I was trying to do numbers the other day. I think I counted 221, 222, like in the 220s.
I'm
I
sorry
just had an
for
awesome
shortchanging you.
commercial. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for shortchanging you. It was more than 200.
Yeah, more. Yeah, no, more than 200. Yeah, you lose count because it's interesting when you can do 1,000 commercials, and that doesn't help you in your acting career.
Of course.
If I had 100 credits in different episodes or different movies, now you're an actor that has a lot of credits. I do have some credits on IMDb. I mean, as an actor for TV and movies, but as far as being on the set, I've been on the set 250 times. 220 commercials plus another 30, 40. Doing TV or film.
Yeah.
So I've been on the set. But like I said, the commercials don't count on your resume. You can't put them there, and it's fine. It's the way it is. I am not waiting for people to hire me. I opened my company so I could produce my own movies.
And that's what I was going to bring up next.
I know. I read your mind. I
You
know.
did. You did.
Segue. I'm
We've been on
trading
the same
segue
page
to
for a
you,
long
Brad.
time. So you opened up your own production company, which is great timing because now you're able to produce your own things, do the type of roles that you want to play,
Yeah.
and you have a movie called El Contratista
Perfect. Yeah.
on Amazon. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. About 4 years ago, I went to an audition, and a lot of Hispanics, of course, were doing auditions for Spanish commercials or whatever. And this is very common that we talk about what's going on in the industry. And I always hear, well, we need to do something. They never hired us. They always hire white guys for to do parts for Latinos.
Yeah.
And I said, well, but that's the same for all nationalities. They'll do that. And so there was a discussion there. And I said, well, why don't we do our own projects? Why are we waiting for if it's the white folk, why are we waiting for whoever's making these decisions for them to hire us?
Yes.
So I said, let's it's right on. And somebody said, well, it's easy for you to say because you're a businessman and blah blah, but that we don't have money. And there's, I said, look, you write a good script. You get together with people that might have the money. You show them the script, and if the script is awesome, you write Rocky. We're going back to Rocky. You write Rocky Balboa, and somebody will want to buy that script.
Yes.
You know. But if you think that way, if you think, well, they don't hire us, nobody's going to hire us, nobody's going to want my script, nobody, then we will never do anything. So from there, I said, I wanted to do a movie years back, but we had a recession in 2008, 9. I almost made a movie. And I said, I'm going to make my own movie. So that's how El Contratista happened. A friend of mine who's the director, Jojo Henriksen, had a script that he had for 10 years. Wow. And And he said, well, I have this script. Do you want to read it? I read it. I liked it. And within 3-4 months, we were shooting. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we went to Mexico, to Ensenada, where I'm from. And I was surprised there because I didn't know I had never worked in Mexico as an actor. So I didn't know what the crew would be like. They were phenomenal, man. They were amazing, worked really hard. Because they're doing shows, American shows in Baja now, so they have gotten the experience.
Yeah,
and they have the hardworking mentality. You need them in the middle of the night. Sometimes we work till dawn.
Yeah,
and they're put. They're there. So
what I've noticed as we've had this conversation is the fact that a lot of the thought processes that you've had as an entrepreneur, you bring that into your acting. Even from a not waiting on anyone and creating your own opportunity, it's worked hand in hand and it's been transferable. And that's an attributed to your spirit and inspiration.
Well, yeah, you have to have that mentality because at the end of the day, a movie is like a business. You need to be able to recoup your money, which was kind of, people told me you shouldn't do this, you should use your own money, and I took the risk. I took the chance. It's a low budget movie, but it costs money. And so I decided to do it because I didn't want to wait for somebody to give us the money and to tell us, oh yeah, but I want you to use this people, or I want you to use my cousin, or this girl would be really good. No, I wanted to use the people that we wanted to use,
Of course.
And I it's not that I'm a control freak, but that way I had control of who would be in the movie and, and how we would do it. And you learn a lot, even though I had a production experience with the shows that I did. Mm-hmm. Producing a film was very, very different. So I had some people helping. We had production company here in LA helping me, and then a production company in Mexico helping us, which was very, very helpful. It was very, very good. So that's another thing. You have to surround yourself with good people to be able to do all these things. People ask me, how do you do it with so many companies? And my answer is the teamwork. I have amazing people around me. They deal with the clinic, they deal with the banquet hall, they deal with the interpreting, they deal with any of the companies. I have a construction company too. So I have people who are in place taking care of all that while I'm gone. If I go shoot a movie, I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I have a movie that I wrote with my son.
That's awesome.
It took us a little over a year, and and but now it's been a year and a half since we started, because after we were done, we started working on it. Yeah. We have a director now for the movie, and he also helped us trim some of the scenes. We had a lot of pages, and he helped us trim it and came up with some good ideas for some of the scenes that were already there. Make it shorter, make it this. So he helped us out. And this guy has a lot of experience. His name is Gabriel Berestein. Yeah. He's actually a director of photography, and he's a director, but also a director of photography. And he's the DP, the director of photography for the new movie Black Widow. The Marvel. Yeah. If you check out Black Widow, you'll see director of photography or cinematographer,
Yeah.
Gabriel Beristain. So he's been directing TV, and he actually is going to Mexico to direct a movie on Friday. We were just talking yesterday. So he's busy, and he wants to do more and more directing. And he was very excited with the script, and we were very excited that he liked it and that he was part of the team.
Yes.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. So that's what we're working on right now. This time I do need to get the money somewhere else because it's a bigger budget, and we're planning on having a few celebrities. We're trying to get Salma Hayek, to play a part of like a Mexican boss, like a good boss, not a cartel boss, but she's like a commander. She's the one in charge. She would be my boss. Yeah. But this is an action movie.
Okay.
And I love what we came up with. It's some of the characters are Hispanic, and they're also American, different nationalities, American characters.
Yeah.
And you know how we have the or some people have the idea, Latinos, they're all like this, they're all that, and we're always portrayed in movies as the bad guy, as the gardener. My buddies complain about all. That's part of what they were complaining about that at that time, that we don't get good parts. So in this movie we have all kinds of characters, Latinos, African American, Asian, everybody. And like I said, I don't know if I can repeat the way I said it once to my son. Your background, your nationality, or the color of your skin doesn't necessarily determine your moral character. Meaning, whether you're Hispanic, Asian, African American, Caucasian, or whatever, in my movie, it's not gonna mean automatically that you're the good guy or the bad guy.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about you, how you are.
Yes.
I could be Latino, I could be white, I could be any, but I'm either a good person or I'm a bad person,
Yes.
And
I couldn't have said it any better than that. And I'm glad that you're getting a chance to do something with your son, which is so special. And you are just an amazing actor. I'm glad that you've been able to transition not only your businesses into the acting world, but continue to maintain both. Where can everyone continue to follow you, just to watch the progression of not only your new project, but also El Contratista, which is on Amazon?
The only place they can find me right now is on Instagram. I have Alejandro de Hoy. It's like Alejandro de Hoyos, but just like it's on screen. But Alejandro DE space HOY. That's what they had available. So I took it.
Oh wow!
Before somebody else took it.
Before somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, Alejandro, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me here. And I'll see you out there soon. I don't know when we're gonna be able to go. Out there and go to red carpet events and things like that. But I'll see you around, man.
I know. We just gotta continue to stay safe and weather the storm, and eventually, we'll get back out there, and I'll see you, once again in person.
Yeah. It's always nice to see you, man. Always nice talking to you.
Always good seeing you.
And your future wife too. She's very sweet.
Thank you so much.
Both of you guys. No, seriously, I'm not saying stuff I shouldn't say. You guys make a great couple. I've known you for a while, both of you, and I can see the connection, which is awesome. I really like that.
That really means a lot, especially coming from you.
Yeah. I hope it does, because it is true. I'm not just saying it. I don't like to just say things, but I love your essence, and I love the essence that you both have. So,
Thank you very much.
Love you, man. You have a great essence.
Thank you. That really means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mayenge, Alejandro de Hoyos, El Contratista. Go check it out. This is the League Talk Show. Everyone continue to stay safe. Take care of yourselves and your families. Talk soon.
All right. Take care.